The chapter of Preaching Tao, Article 44, The Three Essential Elements of the Universe, Energy 2. Xiefeng. October 16, 2008. Energy needed for life. The primary energy needed in life is material energy. In a commodity-based society, material energy is concentrated in money. With money, all material needs in life can be met. Therefore, one should not neglect the acquisition and accumulation of money, as this fundamental condition must be fulfilled before other aspects can be considered. Living in the world requires material energy, and relying solely on spiritual energy is insufficient for survival, let alone dignity and freedom. Those who live off charity lack personal dignity and live in a pitiable manner. As for how to obtain material energy and how much to obtain, it depends on a person's realm and ability. The 8 immortals cross the sea, each showing their own special powers. The secondary energy needed for life is spiritual energy, which can be acquired by setting lofty ideals, absorbing the wisdom of sages, and making friends with like-minded individuals. Energy needed for life. The primary energy needed for life is soul energy. Life does not need material energy, money holds no value for life. Life is a spiritual non-material structure, immortal, and reincarnated. The growth and continuation of life depend on soul energy, which comes from non-material sources. In higher life realms, soul energy comes from reverence for the greatest creator, life, nature, following the way of the greatest creator, love, affection, sexuality, the pursuit of a beautiful future, and entertainment. In lower life realms, soul energy comes from ego and self-preservation, hatred, jealousy, anger, greed, competition, opposition, and conflict. Significance of energy to life. Energy sustains life, provides vitality, and promotes reproduction. However, energy does not cause qualitative changes in life. For example, a cabbage will grow well with ample energy, becoming lush with thick leaves and abundant juice. Without enough energy, it will remain small and wilted. But no matter how much energy it absorbs, it will still be a cabbage, it will not turn into a tomato. Similarly, a person with substantial wealth and a rich material life will exhibit a distinguished and enviable lifestyle, but regardless of how much material energy they have, they remain human and cannot become a celestial being or a Buddha. Therefore, relying on energy absorption and accumulation to change the quality of life to become a celestial being or a Buddha is impossible. Someone who wishes to live in the kingdom of heaven as soon as possible should focus on perfecting their consciousness and optimizing their structure, not on absorbing and accumulating energy. This is because the quality of life is reflected in consciousness and structure, not in energy. Pastors, nuns, monks, and nuns may have no bank deposits, but the quality of their lives is not inferior to that of millionaires, and it is superior to the vast majority of material energy owners in secular society. The win-win method for energy. To absorb and gather energy, one must also learn to release it. Simply absorbing and gathering energy is selfish. Too much energy absorption and accumulation can harm the body and life. If you don't believe it, try eating 10 more steamed buns, or try inputting 350 V of electricity into a lamp designed for 220 V. A win-win method is to share your energy with more people. Sharing your energy not only does not lead to a loss of your energy but actually increases it. Another win-win method is to release the energy of love. The more love energy you release, the more energy you will gain. The more conservative and selfish you are, the less love energy you will retain, and the more you will lose your own love energy. Mutual care, respect, assistance, and love are all win-win methods for energy. The diverse battles for energy. The essence of war is the struggle for energy. Competition in business is the struggle for energy. Power struggles, deceit, and intrigue are all struggles for energy. Quarrels and debates are essentially struggles for energy. Exploitation, suppression, and monopolistic practices are struggles for energy. Political contests, religious suppression of heresy, ethnic independence movements, family disputes, spousal arguments, lovers' jealousy, and backstabbing among peers, colleagues, and classmates are all struggles for energy. Everything that happens on the battlefield, in the marketplace, in officialdom, and in love affairs is a struggle for energy. Apart from the win-win methods for energy, the main activities of human society are struggles for energy. What energy is being fought over? The struggle is for material energy, spiritual energy, and soul energy. Wars mainly fight over material energy, quarrels mainly fight over spiritual energy, and religious suppression mainly fights over soul energy. Manifestation of energy. The strength of material energy is primarily manifested externally. If a plant has a lot of energy, it grows well. If a person has a lot of energy, their tone, posture, and lifestyle are different. If a country has strong energy, its currency can circulate widely, and it plays a crucial role in international affairs. Spiritual energy is mainly manifested in connotation. A person who is unflappable shows great spiritual energy. A saint is a saint mainly because of their rich spiritual connotation. A person who remains calm and collected in the face of storms has strong spiritual energy. A person who is relentless and unafraid of hardships and difficulties has abundant spiritual energy. Soul energy is mainly manifested in the human biofield. A person with great soul energy has a biofield with a colorful aura. The weaker a person's soul energy, the less color and aura they have. A person with strong soul energy can not only effectively resist diseases but also fend off evil spirits. Defense against negative energy. False, evil, and ugly information and phenomena bring negative energy to people. Dirty, chaotic, and poor environments add negative energy to people. People who often complain about others and the environment bring negative energy. Disharmonious societies and groups bring negative energy. Noise, articles written by people with elusive thinking, and movies and pictures filled with scenes of horror, violence, and murder all bring negative energy. Absorbing too much negative energy will lead to a decline in the quality of life. The effective measure to defend against negative energy is to avoid it, stay away from it, and try not to come into contact with it. Focusing on structure. Energy is strange, varied, and complex. Blindly absorbing and accumulating energy is not only unhelpful but also harmful. Pursuing material energy is a characteristic of worldly people. Blindly pursuing spiritual energy without distinguishing between good and bad will turn people into monsters. Absorbing soul energy indiscriminately will turn people into demons. When we cannot distinguish between positive and negative energy and do not know how much energy we need, the best approach is to work on the structure of life's non-material. The type of non-material structure determines the energy absorbed. It is automatic and operates according to the life program. Just like different types of apples, oranges, grapes, wheat, corn, soybeans, watermelons, cucumbers, and muskmelons grow on the same land, the structure determines the type and amount of energy absorbed. If our life structure is that of a herbivore, we will eat grass and leaves and absorb the corresponding energy. If our life structure is that of a human, we will absorb the energy needed by humans. If our life structure is that of a celestial being, we will automatically absorb the energy corresponding to celestial beings and automatically shield against the negative energy that celestial beings do not need. The essence of sun and moon, the spirit of heaven and earth. The essence of the sun and moon, the spirit of heaven and earth, are refined energies, inexhaustible and endless. Poor mountains and bad waters produce troublesome people, green mountains and clear waters produce talented individuals is due to the different spirit absorbed from heaven and earth. Living for a long time in a sunny, gentle breeze, with clear mountains and waters, and beautiful scenery naturally absorbs more of the essence of the sun and moon, and the spirit of heaven and earth, making people calm, intelligent, graceful, spiritually noble, pure, and delicate. Consciousness can create the environment. If we are unfortunately born or live in an unattractive environment, do not lose heart or complain. We can create a beautiful environment filled with the essence of the sun and moon and the spirit of heaven and earth in our consciousness. By creating and entering into the absolute beauty of nature through imagery and meditation, absorbing the essence of the sun and moon and the spirit of heaven and earth, the best way is to repeatedly read A Glimpse of the Thousand-Year World, A Glimpse of the 10,000-Year World, and A Glimpse of the Celestial Islands continent of the Elysium world. Over time, we will become male and female celestials filled with spirituality, radiating spiritual energy, handsome and charming, lively and agile. Regarding energy, the above is a rough explanation. More knowledge needs to be learned and mastered by everyone, and more mysteries need to be pondered and understood by everyone.